Okay, listen. Hi. I had a lot of ideas for this video, a lot of really good ideas, okay? But the first one that I had, which I think was my best idea, that I thought my dad would appreciate, was I was gonna go around Europe with a Mexican flag and just like have like a montage of me just waving around the Mexican flag, and I thought my dad would think it was like funny and he would be proud. I don't have a Mexican flag on me though, so that got crossed off the list really quickly. But then I thought, what's the next best thing? My Bay Bombs t-shirt. But then when we went to Barcelona, it was raining. I didn't want to whip out the Bay Bombs t-shirt while it was raining, so that got canceled. So we're just gonna have a quick little chat, a little sit down video with yours truly, because I know obviously my dad's favorite thing in the world is me. So here is my dad, and I'm gonna tell you all a few of my favorite stories about my dad, with my dad, featuring my dad. Here you go. The very first one I have, it's probably my go-to story whenever I'm talking about my dad, and I want to give them an idea on his character, on what kind of dad he is, okay? And if I were to define my dad as a dad, like in general, I'd say he is the dependable dad. The dependable dad, okay? I have depended on my dad for a lot. For instance, I'm gonna give you an example. This moment in my life has really stood out to me for years. If I was my dad, I would not have done what he did. But he did it. One day, I had a gift card to Half Price Bookstore, my favorite place in the world, and a coupon. But the coupon expired that day, so I had to go that day. Obviously, I couldn't go without a coupon. And so I go downstairs and I say, "Hi Dad, could you maybe drive me to Half Price Bookstore?" And immediately he was like, "Are you kidding me? I have been working on the yards all day. I'm tired. I haven't even taken a shower yet, and you want me to drive you to Half Price Bookstore?" And I was like, you know what, forget about it, okay? Like, I just had a coupon that I wanted to use and it's expiring today, but like, I don't need to use it. It's okay, it's whatever. And so I go upstairs and I'm like, that didn't go well. I guess I can't use this coupon. And meanwhile, I hear my dad just stomping downstairs going, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe her." And my mom, gosh, don't even take her. That's what my mom was saying. You know, they were both downstairs talking about it. All of a sudden I hear my dad come up the stairs with his big footsteps, because he's a big guy. He knocks on my door and I open it. He's like, "Hurry up, get in the car." And I was like, okay. And so I scurry on over to the car. I really rushed and we go. And we're about halfway there when I realized that I don't have the gift card, and that was my means of paying for the books. You know what, Dad? I forgot the gift card, but that's okay. Like, we can just go back. No big deal. Like, I don't have to go to the bookstore. And he was like, and so we're driving back, and he's obviously very annoyed, very displeased with me in this moment. And so we get back, and he's in the car, and he's like, "Hurry up, go get it." And I'm like, okay. And I run to get the gift card, because genuinely, if I was him in this moment, and my kid was like, "I forgot the gift card," and I would be like, damn, that's just a sign that you ain't going to the bookstore today. Ha! But he took me. My dad took me to the bookstore anyways, and I went, I got my books, and we came back. That has happened my whole entire life, where I have asked for stuff, or I've needed stuff, and maybe it was inconvenient for my dad, but he always made sure I had what I needed, I had what I wanted, and I could always depend on him. Wow, am I crying? A lot of people don't know this about my dad, but he's weird. He's got a kind of weird sense of humor sometimes. He's like kind of silly. And I feel like you wouldn't expect that of him, but he's a very silly guy. I think he likes to think that he's funny, and yeah, he's funny sometimes, but he's really silly. He does like really silly stuff sometimes. Like there was this one time, no, not this one time, literally many times growing up has this occurred, okay? Where me and my dad and my mom, we'd be going somewhere, or you know, like the whole family would be going somewhere. And my dad and I, well, my dad and my brother and I were always the first to be ready. Usually in that order. It's usually my dad, my brother, me. Or my dad, me, my brother, because my brother kind of gets ready at the last minute sometimes. But my mom is usually like an hour behind us. And so usually how it goes is me, my dad, and my brother are waiting downstairs in the living room for her watching TV. But this one time that I'm going to talk about specifically, it's just me and my dad, okay? But this happens all the time, okay? What this thing that he does, he does it all the time because he thinks it's so funny. It's such a silly thing. My mom, she finishes getting ready and we hear her in her heels walking across the upstairs floor, and she's coming towards the stairs, and at the exact same time, because I knew he was gonna do it, so I was like, I'm gonna do it too. Me and my dad, we just go and we pretend that we're asleep, because my dad always does that. Anytime you come into a room and like you're like ready to go, he's like, and he pretends that he's asleep. He'll be like, oh my gosh, Dad, come on, hurry up, let's go. And he's like, what? What's happening? Are you going somewhere? And you're like in a rush and you're like, oh my gosh, come on, hurry up, I don't have time for this. And he is like, oh, I just woke up. Are you going somewhere? How are you gonna get there? It's kind of silly, isn't it? It's kind of weird. Here's a little fun fact about my dad that I think is really fun and random that you might not know about him, and that is that he loves high C. The drink, high C. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that grown man likes high C? Every time we go to like a burger place or like fast food and he gets like a drink, what does he get? High C. Or like a raspberry iced tea, like a brisk iced tea. Isn't that kind of funny? He has like a real serious sweet tooth. I feel like people don't know that about him, but he has a huge sweet tooth. Fun fact. Hey Dad, I've had this song stuck in my head for like a while now, but I don't know what song it is, but I think you'll know it, okay? Here we go. Ha 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 ha, da 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 da, dun 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 dun. Do you know what it is? Please tell me. Please let me know. My dad loves his car more than me, and that's on period. Haha. My dad is life of the party. I swear, we go anywhere. We go to any event with any kind of people, and every person in the room wants to be my dad. Personally, I don't get it. I think he's pretty lame. But there's this funny story that he's been telling at parties lately. It is the funniest story, and that's because it's a shared experience between my dad and I. This frustration with none other than my mom. One time, my parents went to Mexico, okay? And they packed 2 suitcases, you know, the standard large suitcases, not just a carry-on, but like, you know, suitcases. And when they came back, my dad, you know, he unpacked his right away. As soon as he got home, put everything in the dirty clothes, put the suitcase back into the attic, and was done. Just like that. My mom did not do that. And I was away at college, and she didn't want to deal with the suitcase, so instead of unpacking it or leaving it in her room, she put it in my room, because apparently my room is storage. And you know what, I get it, okay? I'm away, no one's using it, might as well. But for your unpacked suitcase, do you know how long it took her to unpack that suitcase? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna call my dad and ask. I think it was like 9 months though. Update, I called my dad, he agreed. It was 9 months. That suitcase was in my room, unpacked, for 9 months. I'm pretty sure I came back for winter vacation, summer vacation, living with an unpacked suitcase that wasn't even mine. Mom! And so the first time my dad told this story to like other people was like months after she had finally unpacked it, because I said enough is enough. I took that suitcase out and I put it back into her room. My dad finally tells the story to people and I could not stop laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. So if you ever want to hear it like in its full glory, you should ask my dad because he tells it better. It's funnier somehow, I don't know. Dun 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 dun. I think that's how Las Mañanitas go. How old are you now? 60? 55? Another fun fact about my dad. Anytime Incredibles is on TV, he watches it. That is a fact. That is every time he will watch it. It's kind of our movie. This last story I'm going to tell you is about my quinceañera, and it was when my dad was giving me his consejo, his advice. And he was standing next to my table in front of a crowd of people. And I never knew my dad to be like a public speaker, you know? Like he definitely holds a crowd's attention at a party, but I didn't realize he could like public speak like this. And you know, he said to everyone, I want to thank you all for coming and celebrating my daughter and her 15th birthday and blah blah this, blah blah that. I'm really happy to be here with my family, and obviously I'm here with my daughter and my wife and Angelina, JD, and the kids are all running around, and he forgot about Gabriel. He's like, oh yeah, Gabriel. I'm sure he's running around somewhere. But then he goes, and he says, Mija, they say the man who dies with all the horns and whistles, or something like that, is the luckiest man in the world. And I remember in that moment, I looked over at Annalise and I was like, I have never in my life heard anyone say that. And she went, neither have I. But then he says, but that's wrong. I say that's wrong. I say the man who dies surrounded by his friends and family, like you are today, that is the luckiest man in the world. I'm not crying. And I was like, wow, where'd he pull that up? Did you make that up yourself? That was good. That could be written on a Hallmark card or something. Right before I left for London, I had a birthday / going away party, and everyone was like, Victoria, you have to make a speech, you have to make a speech, you have to make a speech. And I was like, speech? Are you kidding me? I can't make a speech. That was such a lie. I was prepared. I knew exactly what I was gonna say, but I wasn't able to say it because I started crying because I'm emotional. But what I wanted to say, because it was on my 20th birthday, that 5 years ago today, I was at my quinceañera. I was surrounded by all of my friends and all of my family, and I look around today and I see a lot of the same friends and family and some new people that I'm happy to welcome into my home. And on that day, my dad gave me that consejo, and I really held it to heart. And I do feel really lucky, Dad. So thank you for teaching that to me. Hachiar. Hachiar. I got that perfect on the first try. My mind. Thank you, Dad, for all the love and support and for surrounding me with family who I know will always take care of me, for everything else that you do for me that I don't thank you constantly for, like cooking and cleaning up the yards and taking out the trash and driving me everywhere and giving me money for my education and other stuff. You know there's more. I know there's more. Can I list them right now? No. That one's for you, Dad. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you.